We live in the most connected age in human history, and yet we still live in a fractured world. That paradox lies at the heart of one of the Bible's oldest stories, the Tower of Babel. Today, we explore the eighth foundation stone of the Baha'i Faith, a principle that reveals what Babel was really about and how humanity can finally move beyond confusion and toward a common purpose. The Tower of Babel is not an explanation for the origin of human languages, nor is it a story about God opposing the project of civilization. It's an allegory about pride, about what happens when human beings unite around the exaltation of the ego rather than around spiritual truth. In the Genesis account, humanity speaks with one language and gathers to build a tower reaching the heavens. But the motive is revealing. They say, "Let us make a name for ourselves." The problem was not that humanity was united. The problem was what it was united around, a project of self-glorification, not spiritual purpose. And the confusion of languages is a symbolic judgment. Humanity fractures into tribes, each with its own language, its own story, its own myth of superiority. Communication breaks down not merely in speech, but in meaning. Babel is not about the failure of civilization, but a glitch in its development. Humanity wasn't mature enough to sustain true unity. The fracturing of languages represents the long age of tribalism. Nations, cultures, and peoples locked into rival narratives, guarding their identities through competing claims of greatness. Bahá'u'lláh teaches that one of the greatest means for the repair of humanity's fragmentation is for the peoples of the world to understand one another's spoken and written language. Baha'u'llah's vision reverses Babel through conscious cooperative maturity. He calls upon the trustees of the House of Justice to one day select a universal language and a common script to be taught in all the schools of the world, alongside each people's mother tongue. The goal is understanding, not forced uniformity. Interestingly, we can already see a kind of preview of this principle in the modern world. Mathematics functions as a universal language. An equation means the same thing in every country on Earth. Through this shared symbolic system, humanity has built modern science, engineering, and information technology. And through that technology, we now have near instantaneous translation and messages crossing continents in seconds. This is a remarkable achievement. It's helped unite a fragmented world. In a sense, mathematics and technology are quietly undoing the fracturing of Babel. But they're not enough. Machine translation is still mediated. It can't convey meaning, nuance, poetry, or the warmth of direct human understanding. It allows us to communicate through devices, but it doesn't allow us to speak to one another as members of one human family. Baha'u'llah's call goes further. A universal spoken and written language will allow all humans anywhere to communicate without intermediaries, to read the same texts, share ideas freely, and resolve differences through direct understanding rather than mistranslation or fear. And this brings us to one of Baha'u'llah's most quoted statements. The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens. This verse is often heard as a political slogan, but its meaning is far deeper than mere politics. In the language of Scripture, the earth does not simply mean the planet. It means the land, haaretz in Hebrew, the dwelling place prepared for God's people. In the Bible, the land was never intended to be understood as territory to be owned. It was the shared ground where people were meant to live in covenant with God. When Bahá'u'lláh says the earth is one country, the Arabic word rendered as earth, al-ard, does not refer to the planet as an object in space. Rather, it carries the same scriptural meaning as haaretz. What changed over time was not the meaning of the land, but the reach of the covenant. As the covenant of Abraham expanded beyond tribe and lineage, haaretz came to be understood not as one region among many, but as the whole world, the common dwelling place of a humanity now called into covenant together. As the covenant of Abraham was opened beyond tribe and lineage, extended to all people of faith through the revelation of Jesus Christ, the meaning of the land expanded with it. This is what Bahá'u'lláh is declaring. The earth, the land, al-ard, haaretz, has become one shared homeland, not by abolishing nations or cultures, but by redefining belonging. Where pride once shattered humanity into tribes, Bahá'u'lláh restores the land as a shared dwelling place through humility, understanding, and conscious unity. The earth is no longer a patchwork of rival inheritances guarded by fear. It's one home entrusted to a single human family, mature enough at last to speak with clarity and understanding. To explore the Baha'i Faith and the blueprint for a united world, visit schooloftheland.com.